Look. What's up, everyone? How we doing? How we doing out there? Just hanging out, a little bowling. Camera stays on. What's up, everyone? I'm curious, actually, if you could tell me, if you're hanging out, where you are. Because are you looking at it facing vertical, or are you looking at it facing horizontal? Are you scrolling? Are you on our actual YouTube page, or are you scrolling the shorts? Because it should be both. Some oil. All right. Got some oil. What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. It's the beginning of the ending of the week. Anybody have league tonight? I'm sitting here supposed to be a franchise subscriber, and we here talking about practice, not a game. Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. This is not a very serious practice session. I'm really just going through the motions. Oh, hello, Zombie Gaming King. Are you actually the Gaming King? I don't know. Ball jacked up here. Look at that scrape right there. That's enough. That's as low as I can get my reverie. Had league last night and shot 682 with the Raptor. All right, bet. San Diego preferred horizontal to shorts format. What's the difference? Is this really bright behind me? Really bright. Oh, okay, I see that. I think that's a little better. Oh, yeah. That's definitely a little better. Do you really feel you need more than one ball? We had a team kick our ass and they threw house balls. Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you're throwing urethane, you just need one. Just need one, baby. Need one for about 3 years. Drill another one. Can you imagine that? Ball companies come out with 2 balls a year, and you just threw that one over and over again. Seems like you've been working more rev rate in the last months. I've seen you online. Is that accurate? Yeah, sure. You always got to have a high. You always got to have a grip it and rip it release, But yeah, I definitely need to get my rev rate higher, especially for the tour. Because you go to these pairs that have 4 200 start on it, and it's like, all right, well, there's only really one place to play at that point. And if you can't do what they do, some of these games, you're gonna struggle. Yeah, I just got back from Las Vegas and pulled the RPI regional out there, and it was awesome. I mean, it's definitely one of those patterns where you got to get the ball started extremely early. They were slick, they were tight, but so many people. They had pretty much a full senior event and then a full regular event at like 120, 130, something like that. And I remember like 5 years ago, this is probably longer than 5 years ago. I bowled a regional. St. Charles Lanes, and they had like 24 people. I don't even know if they got to 24 people because I don't think there was a title awarded to it. There has to be 24 people. I think there was 23. Maybe they went ahead and awarded the title, but yeah, it was not anymore, man. the regional circuit, I mean, there's a lot of them. The regional circuit on the PBA Tours, I wish it paid more, but it's popping at least. I mean, even in the Midwest, Southwest, East, I mean, there's just a lot of them. You can kind of, in Kansas City, you can kind of be a part of the Midwest and the Southwest, and you can kind of catch them on both ends. And there's just kind of always a lot of regional schools. What's up, everybody? What do you normally practice? Mechanics, lane play? Normally I just throw the ball, man. I know it's kind of bad, but last couple of years I didn't. There's a mindset shift that happens when you go on tour that it becomes like very intense, and that's kind of draining. Do a bunch of stuff during that day. They don't give you a lot of time, so you have to be prepared to like super late nights, super early mornings. You're in this crazy intense environment of people trying to feed their families in 10 weeks. With, you don't even really get close to that if you finish top 2 or 3. So it's like really cut the. And not only do you have to be able to manage it mentally, but you got to be able to pull your ass off and be able to do like a million different things. Every single game will feel like different. One pair is going to be super slick. The next pair is going to be really a lot of hook. The next pair is going to be slick. The next pair is going to hook. The next pair is going to be straight. The next pair is going to be crazy. The next, you have to be able to do all these different things. So in a lot of ways, I just need to get a lot of shots in. I need to get so that way it prepares me mentally of like a lot of balls during the day. If I get a lot of shots in my practice session, I can go over a lot of these different angles and styles and like different ball speeds and hand positions and different ways to create. I can have time to go over all this stuff. So the past couple of years, I would get it in practice, but I didn't really practice long enough. It didn't prepare me mentally for the super long late nights, being around all the frustrated bowlers. And trying to, I just fatigue way too early. So this year, I'm just not I'm learning how to get in better shape. Oh, the horizontal. Wait, what? What do you mean when you walk away from the cam, we can't hear you. Okay, so that's great knowledge. Okay. I don't know why the audio is only hooked up to one. Horizontal mic isn't working either. Why is these mics? Oh. I got you. There we go. Now you guys can hear me. Now we're talking. Now we're a family. I hope it's working. I think it should be working. And we're ready to rock. W. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to see. That's a bad mistake by me. We went 10 minutes. 10 minutes with the wrong mic. What are we doing? Well, welcome everyone. How you doing? Look at this rock star pinned down. This thing doesn't change direction at all. What's up, everyone? Good to hear from you. Good to see you, rookie. I know. Hey, you know, I got thrown off by the fact that you could stream up and down and sideways at the same time. It's like, man, I was excited to do this. What's up? What's up, Ryan? We met in Reno about 3 years ago. Stopped you and Darren Tang while I was standing in line at a restaurant to take a picture. Yes. Can I throw two hands? No. Why do you want me to throw two hands? So let me, I mean, I'm going to have to change anyway, so might as well get going. It's not bad. It doesn't have any ball speed, and I don't even know what step I push away on. I did, however, one day I came in here and I practiced two hands for a little while, probably like an hour, and I got a nice little timing down, and I kind of got a little rhythm down. I was able to kind of throw it, and then I tried to throw one-handed, and it didn't work. Like the timing was just so different. This ball is slippery, bro. Dang. There's a ton of oil on that ball. This is Master of Pennies. Show me the different hand positions. What do you mean? Different hand positions? This ball is oily. Here's an up the back. Man, what oil are we bowling on? Because this stuff is like... I guess we bowled on the Glide this week in Vegas. Shout out South Point. If you're watching... I kind of love that place. I guess I didn't make it back with my rosin, did I? Bummer, dude. Oh, yeah, I did. Duh. Las Vegas, man. You don't even have to gamble there anymore to lose a ton of money. Like, just a simple omelet is $30. And you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? You're getting attached to string pins. So you like string pins. I kind of like them too. Let me tell you something about string pins. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters because I've lost, you know how many tournaments I've lost on some bullshit, on some bull crap? Like it happens. If you bowl enough, you're going to have opponents Brooklyn, double Brooklyn, Brooklyn trip four, Brooklyn cave the big four, trip the bucket, Brooklyn for a six bagger to beat you. And that's on free fall. So all these weird little hits that happen on strings, you know, it's not as big of a deal as you think. It's just different. And the game, the literal game, is the same. It's the same. You still have to execute, and you still get hosed, and you still get lucky. But this oil, man, I mean, that ball hooks 10 less after one shot. What's up, everybody? What pattern did you bowl on at South Point? What arsenal did you have? So what pattern? It was, man, I'm bad with names. They kind of all blend together to me, but it's 42 feet. It was pretty long. Once we got into Sunday, it was tight. It was tight. And, you know, people were throwing urethane. I truly think we're running reactive out of the building. Like, I just don't. I don't see a purpose for reactive anymore. It's kind of crazy. Because urethane just makes reactive bad. Once you go to a pair that someone started with urethane, it's very difficult to throw reactive on that pair. It just makes it harder for reactive. So everyone just ends up throwing urethane. And then you get to like the later parts of the tournament where you go to reactive and it's like, it's good and you'd rather throw reactive than urethane, but you could still also kind of get the job done with the urethane ball, maybe with a different drilling or whatever. And I'm watching these guys in overseas. They're throwing urethane from 6th arrow. They're literally taking urethane ball and playing 5th arrow, 6th arrow with it. And given how many people love to throw urethane on fresh, and then you're seeing these like world-class bowlers across the world using urethane at 6th arrow, it's like, well, if you lighten up the volume of the patterns, then there really kind of becomes no point in reactive balls. So they're putting a ton of oil on the lane, like 35 mils, the most that's ever been recorded. And it still doesn't make reactive look great, but at least at some point in time, you get to throw it. And I'm just not sure. We've had to have known this is coming, right? Like we've had to have known. We've had to have seen this coming. Like I'm preparing, like my way of preparing for tour really is like, I got to get a lot of pins on the fresh first 2, 3, 4 games with urethane. Like it's become the most important because you're not going to outhook the high rev guys. So if you're not getting pins early, if the high rev guys are getting more pins than you early, then they're going to get more pins than you late because they're better at hooking the ball. So, but the high rev guys are insane with urethane. They'd rather throw it. They're actually worse with the reactive. At least on if any of the angles are relatively straight, then yeah, urethane's in play. And I'm a low rev guy compared to it, and I would rather throw urethane. It's kind of crazy. And this whole like 2 years of struggle thing has been kind of that. It's like, it's such a transition because urethane affects the lane so crazy. It's like, I don't even know. And the only way you can know how to bowl on it is to get out there and give it a shot. Well, you're just guessing. You don't know what balls you're going to throw. You don't know what ball you need to go to after urethane. And, we got a lot of each. But it is kind of crazy how big urethane is now. I mean, you can't beat it, especially if you have a high rev. Favorite urethane ball is 78. I would take a 78 over pitch black, I think. And I'm always observant. So I went to an Iowa tournament last year where there's like a lot of college kids, and I was watching what they throw, and they definitely, chase the best urethane on the market, but a lot of them, that was the red one. And that's kind of cool. And that kind of opened my eyes. Like they were choosing the red one. The red one has some flair to it, but I actually love it. When I throw a pitch black, I would rather throw the 78. So I think the 78's the best one. But that's kind of the crappy part about the game being predominantly urethane is it just comes down to which one is better, like which ball, like who can make the one ball that, and then you just throw that one ball for entire amounts of seasons. Like lefties will throw one ball for ever. And if that's the strat that gets you the most pins, then you got to do it. But is that the best form of the game? I don't know. There might be some better forms of the game, you know? But there's a lot of like, you have to like manipulate the urethane to stay in it too. So, you know, it'll start to roll out after a couple games, but then there's some tricks you could do with your hand and a little loft and like little weird deals that people have figured out that they could stay in it another game or two. But I really have no idea how you design a pattern in today's game because it used to just be right versus left. But the two-handers are their own thing. Like the two-handers are the one that destroy the pattern the most. They have the highest rev. So you have to take them into account that every single one of them is going to have a 500 plus rev rate. Every one of them. Every kid coming out of college nowadays has a 550 rev rate. They could get up to probably a 600 if they wanted to. It's no big deal to them. So that means every single pattern you bowl on is going to see a ridiculous amount of transition. And I don't really know. I don't know what you do with that. It's like the things that you could probably do to slow down the amount of like transition, because eventually you run out of lane. So there was a problem there for a little while where everyone was lofting, you know, and you don't, as a proprietor, you don't want people lofting it halfway down the lane. Like those are your lanes. So I thought the urethane thing kind of saved that a little bit. And as the two-handers become more and more, they're going to throw more urethane. So I thought the urethane was kind of liked. It's like, well, it does preserve the lane. It doesn't turn everything into a lofting contest. And but now the USB-C's kind of, I think, switched their stance a little bit. But I think it's just because it's proven to just be dominant. 35-11. Haven't been able since because of back. I don't make staying at the ball look easy. Sean Rash makes staying at the ball look easy. And Bill O'Neill. Those guys are incredible. But yeah, every pattern has more oil in the middle than the outside, which means every pattern kind of turns into a hook shot. Well, if it's a hook shot, you want rev, you know. It's not like you don't want rev. The straighter you play, the less rev you want. So every pattern is eventually going to turn into a hook pattern as long as everyone has a 500 rev rate, because they're just going to, you know, that's the line they're going to play. They're going to develop the pattern into that. And then you also have to take into account the lefties, because there's less lefties than righties. There was a little bit of a resurgence the last couple of years with lefties. But there's still quite a bit more righties, so they see a lot more transition than the lefties. So how do you build a pattern where the left can have a chance and the right can have the same kind of chance? With everyone being a 550 rev rate, just crowbarring all of this oil, just making it go nuts. And I have no idea, man. That's a hard job, hard gig. And we have seen patterns where the difference between a two-hander and a one-hander, which is really like you get the ball into the lane a little earlier, you get it to read a little earlier, your rev rate's a little higher. Well, there's patterns that is what you need to do. And the better you are at that. And so we've seen a couple patterns where the higher rev rate players can like separate themselves. Like the two-handers can actually like kind of separate themselves from the one-handed high rev guys. But it's a very specific kind of roll that they can get with their thumb out of it. Hasn't happened a lot. So for the most part, as long as you can create the right angles, you can do it any way you want. But as far as the rev rates, they just destroy the pattern. So I don't know I don't know what I would do if I was to build a PBA pattern. I think that's the hardest job in the world. I think I would go. What would I do? Well, I wouldn't go 40 feet. I'm anti 40 feet at this point. My whole career, bowling career, every major has been 40 feet. So and I get it. The longer you go, it's easier to shut out the left. The shorter you go, I don't know. Maybe the left has a little bit of an advantage on short patterns. They see a little less transition. Brings urethane into play. But if you go shorter than 35, you take out reactive. Reactive's a no-go. So that's the tricky part. If you go more than 43, 44, well then the way the left plays with the least amount of traffic and just in general, they're much straighter lines. When you go a long pattern, the right side, they like to play a big hook and get inside to stay away from this out of bounds. Well, the lefties, they don't get that luxury of just moving in because we've already torched that part of the lane. So they have to stay closer to that out of bounds. So as the longer the pattern gets, the more out of bounds kind of gets created, and the lefties kind of have to ride that line a little. And it makes it harder for them, you know. And if urethane's not in play, then it gets really hard because it's hard to fit a reactive ball in this like kind of tighter line that they're kind of forced to play because they don't have transition, and the right side is just getting destroyed, so they can't just move in and play a hook shot. So right now what they're doing with patterns is they literally just pretty much, they don't put any oil in the front part of the lane. They do, like, there's 35 mils in the front part of the, or in the whole lane, but there's not like a puddle in the front part of the lane, like with a ton of reverse oil where they oil like pretty close to the foul line. They've been keeping a pretty good amount of distance from the foul line with the reverse oil, but then it hits like quite a bit of oil. Like there's the most amount of oil ever. And it works. It keeps the lefties in play because more often than not, we're going to start with urethane, and that keeps everyone at a level playing field at the beginning, really. And then as it develops, it kind of develops into a hook shot with reactive, and most of the righties just get into reactive, and the left can kind of stay in urethane a little bit longer, and it kind of sort of plays pretty even, I would say. But every pattern plays the same. It's like you're completely locked on like just the amount of options you have. You can only really operate in a certain window and not shut out a specific group. If you go really short, then having rev rate's bad. So that would be, you know, the two-handers would need plastic. What's up, Wolfie? I'm talking to my peeps right now.
What's up, peeps?
Got 236 people. First time ever. Here, let's, I don't know. That's
Hi,
Wolfie. He's
Hi,
the
peeps.
head coach of Avila. They train here. They're practicing right now. But we're live up and down and sideways. First time ever. Technology, man. Yeah. So. Well, Vegas is expensive.
I know.
They get you, man.
So I use that drill that you were doing with Daniel with the stick.
Yeah.
Use it on the drill so you get a feel of what that.
They have to go under the stick.
No, he got
Oh, what in his hand?
Yeah, it actually.
Yeah. It's a kind of eye-opening on the feel.
Yes, and then but when you get to right here and it's still pointing up a little, most of them want to turn it down. So,
yeah, you got to keep it
right. Like Kiara got it immediately.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like the best feeling. Man, I just don't notice a difference of strings. It just.
You don't notice it when you go light, or not when you go light.
Oh, it'll half pocket plaque. Yeah, I'll have some more of those. But
And
I'm kind of used to that.
a lot of like Swiss sevens.
Like high flush sevens.
No Swiss. Like you're throwing everything at the
Oh
seven.
yeah. That'll knock it. Yeah, I know.
Talked to Don Griffith yesterday.
Really?
I like him.
How's he doing?
Doing good. He was trying to get his schedule set for next year, and he wanted to make sure
He's early.
for once.
I guess I have like a little 6-bagger here. Not anymore. No, a 4-bagger.
You see, Clemkin won the first sweeper at the Ron Moore tournament.
No.
$1,000 right off the get.
Clemkin was in Vegas?
Yeah. Is that right now?
Dang it. He must have got in like Sunday or
He's at
something.
South
Yeah.
right now.
Man. So he won not the first event, but the first sweeper?
It was the first event.
Oh, the first full event.
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
Like whatever it was, $1,000. I mean, and guy I used to bowl league with in California finished second.
Yeah, that's a cool little deal they got going on at South Point for the seniors. Because they did the regional and they filled the senior side.
Yeah.
And most of them were going to bowl the.
Because they all live there.
I know, man. They had. You could just tell they have a good time.
I can't believe Pete drove
With Cummings.
to
Yeah. And Cummings got him out there playing golf like every day, man. He's relentless. There we go. Oh, we got a little super chat. $2. Do I prefer two-handed bowling to one-handed bowling? No. I like to watch Pete Weber bowl, man. You can't.
You can throw it two-handed.
Oh yeah, I'd much rather throw it two-handed. Get the head pin off the wall, dude. I mean, people would pay big dollars to get the head pin off the wall.
Stop down and get that.
All right. There's a half pocket. We have, is anyone interested in a clinic? We have a clinic coming to the East Coast. Let me just post this link real quick. Copy. If you're on the East Coast, check this out. Come hang out with us for a weekend. I mean, even if you're not on the East Coast, make a drive. Yeah, big Brad Kyle experience, full weekend. You get a bowling ball. And it's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So that was a good shot. I've been doing this thing where if I get really comfortable, I'll kind of start pushing my push weight up a little bit because I feel a little bit more swing. Like if I just go straight down, it feels a little controlled. If I kind of prop it up a little bit as I start to walk, I can feel more of like a drop into the swing. And then it kind of triggers me to get my feet going. I don't know if it's a great thing. It's not necessarily something like, you know, I don't like, it's not bad that I do it or have the ability to do it, but I have to be really conscious that I'm not like overdoing it or doing it in the wrong time. Because it's all projection and trajectory anyway. So doing that isn't necessarily bad or good as long as it gives you the correct result. So, you know, I'd kind of get into the swing and, you know, sometimes maybe the swing needs to be a little slower and I don't need to do it as much. And I just need to be very conscious. But the amount that you have to move on tour, like, I mean, you just gotta, if you go to Belmo's pair, you just gotta do this. And then you go to Frankie's pair and you gotta go all the way back out here and then somewhere in the middle and you can't realistically throw it the same all the time. So I don't love the idea of just like throwing it one way and having one starting position and all that stuff because you have to be very versatile. But I have to be very conscious that it's got to be very sharp. That's what they call sharp. What's up, Lennon? Will it help for me to do this because I'm right-handed only in bowling? Yeah. Dude, it don't matter. You're two-handed, one-handed. We got you. We'll teach you what you need to know. Brad missing right 12 times in a row to wall. Yeah, you saw that? The strategy? Yes, they did just have the that is the building they had the PBA Tour Finals at, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, Lee's a cool dude. Great dude. We did one there last year. Need a clinic on the West Coast. We did one in San Bernardino, Redlands. At Empire Bowl. It was awesome. Love to go back. Already got my spot, Andy. What's up? Appreciate you. We'll see you there. Come to El Paso. Does it have to be El Paso? Can it be like San Antonio maybe, or like something kind of more in the middle? That way we can maybe get some Austin people and some Houston people. XL versus Equinox solid. Equinox solid. Yeah, Equinox solid is nice. Where am I bowling at? This is Aaron's Family Fun Center. How would I clean the approaches in the bowling alley? Dude, I have no idea. Just some, I don't know, man. I don't know the best way. Wolfie, yeah, if you're looking for a college to go to, you can come to Avila. I can send you the right way. Do I have any tape in my thumb right now? If so, where and what type? Yes, I use quite a bit of tape. Brad, did you ever bowl traditional thumb grip before inserts? And if so, any tips on the transition? With traditional thumb grip, you mean like, like you put all your whole fingers in there, like the? No, I've never done that. But I've drilled my bowling balls at times with nothing. So no grips, no slugs, nothing. I would give $15 to Eddie Bird, and that was it. Just to save money. And that's not great. I couldn't, when I had no grips, I couldn't throw the spare ball. Because the polyester is so slick that I just realized I had to have grips if I was going to throw a spare ball. And now I don't even use a spare ball. I've given up on the spare ball. Saw where someone in Sacramento bowled a 900 series a day ago. Yes. On not a house shot. You mean the Hyperdrive Pearl versus the Gremlin? The Hyperdrive Pearl is the best ball on the market, I think. Equinox solid second. Ion Pro solid third. If you get those three balls, you really can't go wrong. You have the whole shebang. You get the whole thing. Anything you want. Also an 898. How much to get me to San Antonio? Keys bowl doubles together. Oh. I'll go to San Antonio to do a clinic. I don't know about bowling. Unless there's a good tournament. What's your favorite bowler? I don't know. I like watching people bowl the most. I think EJ Taggart's the greatest species to ever even come close to a bowling ball. So I like watching him bowl. I don't really play much chess now. Mooresville, dude. We were there for the U.S. Open. But, yeah, I'd come to Mooresville. Be chilling. I don't know. What do I think? 38-foot shot at South Point. Is urethane the play? What do you mean the 38-foot shot? We bowled on the house shot when we were doing some filming. So we, the house shot was really easy. The pattern they used for the sports shot, for the regional, was really hard. And it's hard until you figure it out. And then once you start to figure out where there's just a little bit of room, then it's really not that hard anymore, and scores get really high, and they were. These are the 3Gs, racers. I like them. If you come to Orlando, my wife and I will come down from Jacksonville, Florida. Bet. Boardwalk Bowl, book it. In May. Do you have any tips on how to stay in front of the transition when the lanes start to break down? Yeah, move left. What else are you going to do? You just have to throw it quite a bit slower sometimes and have good touch with your speed. Nice. See, you don't even really have to have an approach. Should PBA bring back bowling inside a football or baseball stadium for a major? That's not going to do anything. What's that going to do? It'd be cool, but it ain't going to make them any money. Look at this spin biscuit. Wow. That was weird. That was the old thumb downer. Diddly ho, neighbor. I watched Pete at a couple PBA stops in the 90s. He slow hooked it around everyone and kept moving up. This week went on. Yeah, that's kind of been the gig about professional bowling is can you get left of your opponent? When Norm Duke was on his tear, he says he out-hooked everyone. And yeah, that's just like that. That's where two-handed bowling got bred from. Was it's just the next step in how can I have this advantage of playing a hook shot? Because when you're playing the hook shot, the transition comes to you. So you don't move right on transition. You move into more of a hook shot, and if you can play left of someone, it comes to you, and you could put them in a bad spot where they have nowhere to move because they're just going to move into where you already are. So if the move's left, if you start farther left, they can only move into what you started on. So it really messes with their line a lot if you can start left and play left. So that's always been the game. And then next thing you know, you get one guy that just got to play farther left than everyone else, and the rest is history. Now everyone's two-handed. Vegas South Point, man, they're the best. I go Brooklyn a lot. Any tips to limit that less? Yeah, you're probably trying to overthrow it. You just work on do some of this. Do some of this. Go up there. Just feed the ball to the right. And you'll notice that it's a lot easier to feed it to the right the less follow-through you have. If you're going up there and doing one of these big follow-through, that's always going to limit the ability to let it float out there, My average ball speed's like 15. Yeah, the Florida one's not on my site yet. Yeah. We haven't got an exact date, but I have reached out to Boardwalk. I'd love to. We're going to do something there. We just have to make sure we're not on tour and make sure that it's a weekend that they're good with because, they're busy, So just got to make sure. Have I ever actually considered switching to two-handed? Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I was pretty naive at the beginning, but, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I saw like Spencer Robards was killing everyone at 12 years old, and he had more rev rate than I did. So it started to hit me. And I was definitely a little slow to it, but it is definitely you can't pay Aaron to go back to one-handed. You can't pay him enough money. And it just sucks the way it's like that. I'm a senior player. What ball speed is considered a slow ball speed? Dude, I mean, I rolled a 121, 249, 144 last week. I need some coaching on what I'm doing wrong. Well, come to our clinic in Pennsylvania. If not, we have a coaching membership. If not, we have a Master of the Lane. There's 21 video series you can buy. I'll give you a code if you want it. But we have several options for coaching. But what you're inconsistent with your score, which means you're inconsistent with the bowling ball, which means the path and the speed and the spin are inconsistent somewhere. And being the one going through the motion and having the approach, it feels like you're being pretty consistent, but 9 times out of 10, if it kind of feels like you are and you're that far off, you're trying way too hard. You're just putting way too much effort into it, and it is we'll take a code. Okay. If you I'll send you here. Let's see. Shot on clinics. Okay, so if you click on that, use code pattern. Should be 10% off, I think. Do that. I mean, we go through everything on lane patterns. I mean, we short, medium, long, house, fresh, burn. It's all strategy. It's literally 21 videos on strategy. Can really help you out. The Bradathon or Bradathan, whatever. But yeah, if your scores are that inconsistent, then there's some inconsistency in your physical game. You're not getting the ball in the lane the same way. But it's not like. So what that tells me is you bowled a 249. So without ever seeing you throw a shot, that tells me that you throw it in some capacity that allows you to throw a 5 and 6 and 7 bagger. It's possible. So right off the get-go, that tells me that the physical game's okay, but you're probably missing something on the fresh, and then you're missing something on the burn, and then on your good games, you're kind of just you're luckily landing in the right spot, and then it goes away a little bit, and then we don't know where it's going wrong, whether it's our feel or whether it's the lane transition, whether it's the bowling ball. Because a lot of people don't have the ability to shoot 249. That's a high score. If you're two-handed, that would make a little bit more sense. Because if you're two-handed, you can definitely you roll it pretty straight and hope it burns. Well, that's already a problem because you need to learn how to play inside. So you don't have to always play there, but you at least need to know that what you need to do to be able to play inside. And most people overcomplicate it. It's very hard. I get it. If you're not two-handed and you see these two-handers, their backswing's right here, and they get the head pin off the wall every. Like they're so powerful without having any swing that it's like crazy, and it can be very intimidating. It can be very intimidating to think that like you have to do a whole lot to keep up with that. And the truth is, most people don't hook the ball very well because they just do too much. And I've been throwing this shot. I've been hooking the ball right now for a little while, and I'm not doing anything. Like that's 12 mile an hour, maybe, and I can pretty consistently do that. So trusting the fact that doing way less can really build a lot of repeatability and gives your ball more time to actually hook and be productive. Like if you create the right ball motion. You can't create the right ball motion in order to hook the ball properly if your ball speed's too fast. You just can't do it. Most people think it's a rev rate thing, and yeah, maybe people don't have a high rev rate, but if you don't have a high rev rate out there and you can't get your ball speed to 12 mile an hour, then you blame yourself for not getting your speed to 12 mile an hour. Just look at that. That's no revs. Look at that. Did you see that? That was 9 mile an hour with 140 rev rate. But it created the right ball motion. And that's what you need to be able to do. So you can't do that if you overthrow it. The cheeks from clapping, you know, that one's tough. I don't know. You know, you gotta walk very steady. One-handed, no thumb, and my ball hooks. I try to work on ready transition. Yeah, so your ball hooks. So that's the number one thing that has to happen if you want to be a good bowler, is you have to be able to hook the ball. You have to do it. You don't have to always do it, and in fact, you may, if you, depending on the league, you may never have to do it. But if you don't know how, you are killing yourself. And the first start really is, can you get your ball into a roll? And you can't do that if your ball speed's too high, if your rev rate's too low. Just bought the Master of the Lane. Thank you for the promo code, Brad. Yes, absolutely. There's a link up for Master of the Lane. It's a 21 video series. Use code pattern. We ever practice 710? Ooh, let me do that. Because I can do this cool stuff. Oh, no, I think I got 10 more shots left on this, and then I'll do some 710. Oh. Love you guys on YouTube. Let's see you bowl back up all two-handed. You know, and to further that point, like if you're a low rev rate and you think you need more revs, but you can't, but you don't have good enough ball speed control to get your ball speed down, then you're trapped. If you have low rev, you have to have unbelievable ball speed control. And if you can't drop your ball speed down to 12 mile an hour and have like this very relaxed way of throwing it and manipulate your game like that, you're killing yourself because you don't have the advantage of revs, so you have to have the advantage of something. I think that's the same thing as two-handed bowling. I think I'm going to be required to learn it. I think you just have to have it in moments. I think there are just times where the lane plays in a certain way where that style gives you such a good advantage that for that pair, for that set of games, for that whatever. But then I think you just end up not going back. Like you're Darren Tang. It's like, yeah, what's this dumb one-handed game? And I just love the idea of like throwing it like Pete Weber, man. Like there's just no better way to throw the bowling ball. It's poetry in motion like crazy. And I just don't get that same emotion for two-handed, like the style. And I don't know. I think I'm just being dumb and not by not going two-handed. I think I just need to do it. I think Kyle probably definitely should. Kyle's pretty good two-handed. I rolled 10 games in practice, 205 average, but league can get it right. I look like Tommy Jones. We have some similar. Actual 14.6 average mile per hour, price 16 off the hand, 13 off the hand. Is that mine right now? Is that my mile per hour? Did you just like do my mile per hour 14? Yeah. So, I mean, I would assume Belmo wins most of his titles at 15, 16 mile an hour. I don't see him throw it hard ever. The number you get off Specto on the television shows is the highest number possible. So unless your system is also capturing the second it comes off the hand, it's got the highest rev rate and the highest speed. Most people check their speed and rev rate from an average. And so the numbers that you see on TV are, I don't know if it's similar to what golf does with the TrackMan. You know, I would assume if you had a TrackMan, you would get the same numbers, but most people don't. So it's like, but I think it misguides people a little bit because they think they need to throw harder than they actually should. And no, you shouldn't really rarely ever throw at 17, 18 mile an hour. Like you can't create ball motion doing that. You can't create large angles doing that. There's an equation here, you know. More ball speed, the harder it is to create angle. And I would just encourage everyone, one-handed, two-handed, to just learn how to drop the ball speed down and get soft with the hand and just get soft with the body and just let it kind of just bleh with no real force involved. And I know, like, if you're a one-handed bowler, it might be like, well, that's not going to, like, if you're low rev out there, I was like, well, that's just going to kill my power. Well, it might kill your power initially, but you can still have a very deliberate style by keeping your speed in check and getting really aggressive with the hand. So I'll do it. So I'm going to walk as if I'm throwing it 9 mile an hour, but then I'm going to get really aggressive with the hand. And that creates slow ball speed with a pretty high rev. But if you're running up there and like really overdoing the follow through and everything, like you just can't hook the lane. So if you want to hook the ball more, you're going to have to anyway. You're going to have some speed control. So you might as well learn to throw it slow now. I don't even know what I'm like stepping on here. Whew. It's hard to throw faster when I don't use my thumb and throw a 15-pounder. Yeah, ball speed is not your friend if you don't use your thumb. That's a thumb thing. I can zing the ball down there a little easier with my thumb on the ball. It doesn't really provide any advantage, but that is tougher for a no-thumber because it's just a rev dominant style. I mean, it's totally rev dominant. There's really nothing else about it. And that's what, if you're two-handed out there, I would encourage learning how to limit your rev rate. Simonson does it really good, dude. He's a master. The year he won the Players, I made that round of 24, and then I was the player committee guy. I was running the player committee, so I got to sit next to Tom Clark on the show. And for the whole 24 games of round robin, this guy played straighter than most people, and that's just something you don't see two-handers do. It's against the style. But this guy's got a few like tricks that it was a longer pattern, and instead of playing inside like most of us try to, you know, he was able to go up it, and that's just cool to see, man. That guy is talented. Bowling eye does not show speed. It's hard to throw faster. Yeah. Faster as the night goes on. Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of bowling in a nutshell. You got to play a game with yourself. Like you got to realize, what are my normal tendencies? At what point do I like to throw it a little faster? And then whenever that point kind of gets to, you have to like trick yourself into like exaggerating a little bit on the opposite end to make sure. And that's professional tournaments too. That's what guys are doing. They know their tendencies, and they know that, all right, when I get into this part, I kind of like to do this. So I'm going to move on the approach a little bit because I don't want to gas it. Like they're always trying to have the best chance, but you just have to like recognize what's about to happen and then kind of go in the opposite direction to make sure it doesn't happen. And their recognition, EJ's recognition, is unbelievable. The most important tool a bowler has in his bag is versatility. You want to know what Brad Angela told us one time? It was in an interview. If you go back on our YouTube channel and look at like the very beginning videos, we did some black and white interviews at the National Bowling Stadium one year at the World Series of Bowling, and we interviewed Angelo. And he dropped a dime. He goes, "You want to know the best bowl?" He goes, "You want to know the best bowl in your arsenal?" And we were like, "What?" He goes, "Your eyeball." And we were like, "Oh, shit." But it is true. The best ball in your arsenal is your eyeball. But like also one thing I got to do is learn how to create some tilt. Like I've been an up the back guy for my whole life, and it's okay, but I've never been really good at like just whipping around it. I feel like I spin it, and I got to get that dialed. That's got to be, and I have to recognize that things are going wrong because of my tilt. Like I got to be on that. Like I got to recognize what happens when I have a little bit too little of tilt and I need to increase it. What does my ball motion look like? And once I know that, which I kind of do, it's pretty simple, but you go to immediately. You don't even have to think about it. And I just haven't had that. I spend too many shots in too many games just trying to like switch balls or something instead of just creating more rotation. Which bowler trash talks Belmo? I wear the 3G Racers. They're pretty good. I'm actually going to order a new pair. I normally order a pair every 2 to 3 years, but I've bowled a lot. Hello, Brad and Kyle, Bowl and chat. How are we all doing this afternoon? We are doing fantastic. Oh, I got to do all right, I think I got 4 more shots, and I can do some 710s. I remember a shot that I threw on tour one time where I was talking to Sean Ryan, the ball rep, best ball rep maybe ever. And he's telling me I got to play this line. It's like the inside line. I got to loft it. I got to do this. And man, it kind of makes me uncomfortable. It's like, it's so effortless to like get the ball like right here and then just spin the crap out of it and play this big hook. And I just always felt like my ball speed was just like, I just didn't have the rev, as what you consider. And I go up there in the 10th frame. I throw one pretty good in the 9th, and I strike. And I go up there in the 10th frame, and I throw this ball, and I really do, get this post going on, and whoosh, airmails the head pin. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I thought I aced that. Like, I was posted. And he comes back and goes, "Why'd you throw it so hard?" I go, "Dude, I didn't know I did." And that's when it became apparent to me. It's like, man, it can trick you. Like rev rate can trick you. Like you have to understand how valuable ball speed control is. And you have to understand when you need to throw it a little bit slower. And if you never trial it, like if you never try moving left and throwing it much slower, if you never try it, then you're never going to really know. Hi, Brad. How many days in a week do you normally bowl, and how many games per week? Not as much as I should. Leading up to the tour, I'm going to get pretty heavy into it. I'll try and bowl a couple hours a day. Not necessarily games, but Strength of the body, strength of the forearm, strength of the thumb, strength of the fingers. That's honestly a lot of issues I've had the past couple of years during struggles. Like my fingers blow open, my thumb hurts, my forearm's not very strong. I feel weak in my legs. It's a lot of just not bowling enough. That it. The light 4-pin, dude. That is a string pin hit, but I'm here for it. Yeah, difference between Belmont and Oscu for sure. Oscu loved to throw it hard, and if he would have just for a couple years there when Belmo was killing. I mean, he was killing everyone. He won a Players Championship one time. They put out kind of a flatter pattern and it played normal in qualifying, but once you got into the round of 24, it just played flat. And that's what happens. You oil the lanes for 4 days in a row, and then the pattern just starts to slowly develop, and it gets to a certain point. And Belmo lofted the gutter game 1 of match play every round. Boom, boom, boom. 3 rounds of 8 games, and he was lofting the gutter game 1. It was like really the only time I ever saw that. Like, wow, he's not even playing a lane at all. Like, not game 1. And he won. Like, you couldn't touch him. He was 250 out the gate every time with a timeless. And that's when I just realized, like, but to Oscu, like, if Oscu, his natural game was just so far away from that's super slow. I mean, Belmo would play that line, like, way out there, come in, maximum angle stretch. And if your thumb is in the ball, you actually can't. Like, it's very difficult to even get, like, and so, yeah, I mean, Belmo just learned this slow wheel that no one could. And, he's the best in the world for sure at the slow wheel. I think EJ is the greatest, period. But the slow wheel, yeah, you're not messing with Belmo. Here we go, 7-10. This is always hard because it hurts my shoulder. But we're going to make it. Oh. Me and Nolan Nash did this for about an hour one day, and we didn't get close. Yeah, Belmo's speed control is insane. Did I watch Josh Blanchard fall in the lane? I thought about that the other day, man. I just can't. I can't imagine that. Like, that sucks for Josh, that was like a big moment. But whatever. How do I strike in bowling? What do I think about trying without elbow? I don't know. What does that mean? Can't wait to see more tournaments. What do you think of the Defender ball? I don't even know. How do I transport all your equipment when you travel for the tour? In my car. If I was to switch to bowling, how much time do you think it would take before it's at a level to break it out on tour? Well, I mean, it wouldn't take long. I'm not bowling on good tour now. Good on tour now. I might as well just get in there. I mean, what's the worst that happens? I finish the same place or lower. It's the same amount of money. So I wouldn't really care about tour. I would just get in there. I mean, that's really where you learn, So, but I think I could do it, like, not too bad. Like, I mean, Darren's probably a year in, and he's better than he was before. I think that would be the same case for me, maybe. Maybe not. If I worked, if I just did it every once in a while, no. But if I got in here every day and I bowled tournaments and I went through all my, I got myself at least in a cut, and if I made some dumb mistakes in a tournament and then I come back here and work on them, and then I go bowl a tournament, I come back here and work on it. If I did that consistently, yeah, I could. It wouldn't take but a year. because going the opposite, you lose rev. If as long as you have the rev, then getting developing a fairly accurate style is not too difficult. Getting the rev is difficult. So the journey from two-handed to one-handed is longer because you have to figure out how to rev this sucker. Whereas two-handed, that's kind of just... So the learning curve is quicker. And I don't know, maybe I should do it. I mean, I don't know if I would ever, I would eventually make a cut, I think, on tour. But I would just get in there. I wouldn't even... All right, well, I would have to ask Darren and Chris Vi and these guys, like, how do you drill them? And I would have to, like, ask some people, like, what do they do in this scenario? What do they do in that scenario? And if I really, really, really focused on it, it could be done. But I definitely have some things to work out. Let me try one. Oh, that's not a tour ready bowler right there. I twisted my ankle not bowling, then got a brace for Amazon, and I use it all the time for support. I'm a two-finger, one-handed bowler. Any tips? I don't know. Darren bowled at least a year in league two-handed, I believe. Mikey bowled two-handed 2 summers ago. Yeah. I would have to I'd have to bowl a lot to be able to make a cut on tour. Because now it's like everyone's also got that much power. So even if I go two-handed, I'm not going two-handed. I'd get an advantage over one-handers maybe, but not necessarily the other two-handers. So I have to figure out how to beat them. And Darren's a year ahead of me. He's already great, dude. He's great. Darren is fantastic at two-handed bowling. Like him and Ryan Barnes both for the title in Vegas. It's like, dude, that was a hard, that was a good field. And Darren, he's already got, a couple titles? I mean, that's just insane. It's insane how you can be that good. Baldy Lesson fans, do you say when you're going to No, I kind of just go random. Any balls you recommend for me to play straighter longer? I don't know. I don't know if you... That's bad. I don't know if you want to play straighter longer. Why do you want to play straighter longer? I'm telling you to get inside, man. The hand under it. Give it the grip and rep. We don't want to play straighter longer. That just kills us. I think, though, naturally as a two-handed bowler, I like the stutter step. You know how Packy stutter steps? I think that's what I would do. Man, I don't know. This kind of makes me want to try two-handed. Maybe I don't know. I don't think there's any way I could progress like Darren did because Darren worked I don't know. He might be. I think Darren's been doing it a little bit longer. He was playing around with it for a little while, and he was kind of good with it. Is that bad for the machine? No? It feels like it's like hopping up on something. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you stopping in. Enjoy Master Lane. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You give me a urethane ball and some slow ball speed and all the rev rate. Oh my goodness. I'd be hooking the whole lane. Do I even have a urethane ball? I don't. All right, I am crap. I need to get off this. Explore games. Oh, come on. Reset the pins. No, I don't want that. Change pattern. There we go. Full house. All right, we'll see if we can double two-handed. I'm going with the weaker ball. That is all arm and no swing or body whatsoever. Drilled 3 balls with 3/4 forward on my thumb. Best move I've ever made. Smoothest swing I ever had. Wow, 3/4 forward, dude. That's insane. What time? Get me out of here. When's bags coming?
6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only got like 20 more minutes anyway.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Still playing poker? Not really. I only really like playing poker tournaments. I can't really sit down in a cash game anymore. It's just a little boring. So, and cash games are just pretty much pure gamble. All right. Or, I mean, tournaments are pretty much gamble. Oh, look at this shot, dude. Come on. I'm not bad. No pull at all. Isn't that just oil smeared all over the ball? Yeah, but it helps. Big hop in the air. See, told you. So I'm throwing it like a rock star. All right, for the double, dude. Come on. I mean, what are we doing? Kyle will beat me in every competition possible. He's got the 710. He's got the two-handed. He's got the backup. He's got the hook ball. I got him in the spare game, though. Even though he probably disagrees because he's seen me miss with this 78 like a million times. But, you know, I got to have some confidence somewhere. Oh. All right, that was a little slow. But we had a double. We got a double. Tempo is good, huh? Oh man, I'm gonna have to, dude. I mean, I watched Darren bowl this weekend. I mean, he on a pattern where you have to get it started early. Like you just have to. Like with urethane, the backs get really tight. Like if the whole pattern's about getting it started early, you might as well. Like there's really, I don't even need much of like a two-handed game, I feel like. Because I would just throw urethane out to the right. And hopefully but then it would be hard to go to one-handed. I wouldn't even really want to go to one-handed. If it's just going to turn into a hook shot, I might as well just keep moving left. Dang it, dude. Am I going to go two-handed? I can't believe this. But, I mean, what else do you do? Throw it like Bill O'Neill? Like, throwing it like being as accurate as Bill O'Neill's really hard. Oh, I missed it on that one. Oh, come on. Look at that. That's a strike. The half pocket, 6 lean into the 10. So that I've been trying a little bit of like this hand over here. I also take different steps each time. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but sometimes I'll do like a little, oh no, I got tangled. I don't even know how many steps I take. For the double. Can I get a double? It's got to hook a lot. Oh, look at this. All right, got back. Let's see. I got a little work to do. Brandon Bones swing, yeah. Way around that one. See, when I'm missing two-handed, I overhit it. When I'm missing one-handed, I underhit it. It's kind of weird. Okay, that was pretty good. I felt a little more swing on that one. But opening up, love your chi. Keep it up, guys. What is chi? Is that the Chinese energy deal? You have a lot of chi in your blood? All right, for the double two-handed, got a nice little momentum here. No, see, I try to go a little faster on that. I try to have faster feet, and that really, ooh, that one fell off my hand pretty easily. All right. Look at that. All right. Not bad. What do I think makes Andrew Anderson so successful? Well, he wants it. You know, he can't get that good and just like nonchalantly just like, yeah, I'm that good. No, like you got to look yourself in the mirror every day and say, no, I'm going to win bowling tournaments. And then you got to go to the bowling alley with this intense mindset of like you wanting to do something very badly. And Andrew's got that chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove to the world that he is that good. And he is that good. You know, he's got a great mindset for it. His physical game is phenomenal. I mean, his physical game is phenomenal, dude. It's hard to believe how good his game is. All right, there's one. I've been holding the ball for a year now. I have been improving. I definitely need help to get better. Well, you interested in a clinic? We have 3 things. We have a clinic coming up. We've got a coaching membership that we have about 300 members in, and then we have Master of the Lane. I can give you codes for any of them. Not the clinic. Come on, ball. All right. Missing right and it stays right. I need that to hook back, baby. Hard to play tighter because ball overhook with low ball speed. Yeah, I mean, the more rev you have, the harder it is to play straight for sure. That's when you really love urethane. I love these balls that go pretty straight. You call everything about something. Ever go to a haunted house for your channel? Ever go to a haunted house? Not for. I mean, we could. Maybe the best one in the country. Come on. All right. All right. We're gonna throw a turkey. I'm not getting out of here until we throw a turkey. Pull out the pearl. Speed is tricky. Sometimes too fast ball will go through break point, or too slow will break early. All right, come on. Oh, that's close. Oh, it's slow. Get it out of there. Are you kidding me? That's so dumb. That sucks. See, now I'm going to go back to one-handed and not know how to throw it. Like, that was weird. Of course I plaque a 10. I don't plaque 110, and then I go one-handed for one shot. The ball looks like it's 10 pounds. Did you get to meet Ben Stiller in Akron for TOC? No, I wasn't there for that. Was not there for that. Lima, Peru. Well, welcome. 185 average, high game 267. Awesome. A friendly pop collector. Oh, all right. Do we have to actually get a turkey? I don't know how to get a turkey two-handed. All right. We got 20 shots to get a turkey two-handed. I stutter step down. I don't think I like that. I think I'm going to go the other way and not stutter step. Ooh! All right. Okay, here we go for the double. Oh, come on. Come on. You know, I limited my rev rate on that one a little bit too. That was... All right. This is a thing. All right. We got it. We got it in the bag. Trusty old rock star, baby. Oh. No way. Did you guys get that on camera? The Pocket 457. If come on. Wow. All right. I bowled against Troop this weekend. Had him almost on my brackets. Game one, I shoot 230. He doesn't. 230 doesn't. He shoot 267. Yeah, that's brackets for you. All right, for the double. Please. No. How does that ring a 10? How does that ring a 10? This two-handed stuff's for the birds. All right. Oh, that was terrible. All right, forget about that one. I went back to the stutter step unintentionally. That's how bad I am, is I just not even sure how to walk. All right. Oh, with the break. The roll two. I need a pretty camera girl. You know one? I thought I was pretty, man. Chris Barnes trick shot. If you're walking to the foul line too fast, bowling slow motion also will help balance. Hustle X-ray, step up, Ion Pro Solid. It's a big shot. Gives us a chance to have a turkey. Oh, that's close. Oh! Well, should we go to the RST for the third one? I think we gotta. I think our rock star is our baby right now. It's the first attempt going for a turkey. But I've thrown 3 of the last 5 with that pocket 4-5 and the 10 pin. Oh my gosh, the ball fell out of my hand. Well, we gotta do this all over again. See, that ball likes the 4-pin. That ball goes, the 4-pin's the same way too. Okay. I think it's, I don't know how much short it was RST. Hook's too early. I didn't wipe it. I didn't fully wipe it off, you know. Oh, that's close. Come on. I wish I had Specto to see the difference in those shots, because one was basically in the gutter and the other one was the opposite of that. But now we have another chance for a turkey. We only have 10 minutes left. Come on. We got it. We got it. We got this. Please. Dude, I threw a turkey. You're telling me I can't bowl? I need to slow everything down. Well, how many can I get? Think I can throw a 6-bagger? Nope. Ah, I hooked too much. That wasn't a bad shot, though. I just broke the lane down, you know? You doubted me. I know you did. I know. All right. We'll throw one last one, you know? Make a move off that. And that. That happens. It slips off the hand. Means I got a little bit of a line, you know? Ball hooks. That's going to be hard. There's so much more swing in the one-handed. Oh, that feels so weird. Gosh, dang it. It's hard. All right. That was it. I think we're done. All right, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Practice 5 games a week, but go in with a purpose, one thought, behind the knee, not over it. His middle name was James. All right, guys. What was your favorite ball ever made? Probably a Phase 2. Thrown it the most. I had a lot of ones over the years, though. If you guys are interested in a bowling clinic, I'll put that in the description. January 17th, 18th, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Check it out. If not, here's a link to our Master of the Lane, and use code pattern. So appreciate you guys hanging out. Love talking with you. And we'll see you later. Good luck in your league tonight. Good luck in your tournaments this weekend.